Hello, everyone, and thank you so very much for joining me today. I am going to begin this webinar, but first I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Wendy Spellman, and I work with AzAmara, work for AzAmara, and I really want to thank my friends at the CruiseWeb for hosting today's webinar. I am really fortunate that they have some of the most experienced travel experts in the industry, and these guys and gals are available 7 days a week to help you plan your Azamara voyage. So to get started, just wanted to talk a little bit about the three Azamara vessels and what Azamara is all about. So Azamara is really an upmarket cruise line. It's one of the Royal Caribbean family of brands, and there's three ships: the Azamara Journey, the Azamara Quest, and the Azamara Pursuit. And they are just the right size, not too big, not too small. Each ship carries approximately 700 guests with a very diverse international staff and crew of about 400. So on the ship of this size, you never feel crowded, and yet the ship is really large enough so that you meet new people every day. So Azamara is primarily, the big focus for Azamara is that we are all about connecting people to people, people with cultures, and people with themselves. I'm not quite sure why that slide keeps shifting, but and so we're all about destination immersion. And Azamara, that means that we have longer stays in port, we have more overnights, and we focus on night touring. So that means because we're staying overnight in a destination, we actually have shore excursions that you can do in the evening. My most memorable experience is when we were in Hvar, Croatia. And, I was out during the day. It got to be about 1 or 2 o'clock, and it was extremely hot. It was in the 90s. And I just decided that, you know what? I need to go back to the ship for a little while and cool down and relax. But was so nice that we weren't leaving Hvar until midnight that night. So I was able to go back on land and go out in the evening, had dinner, had some dinner and drinks with friends. And as most of you probably have experienced already in your travels, is that being in a destination at night has a completely different vibe than it does during the day. So it was really cool to be able to go out at night. Um, Another really fun time I had was when I was overnighting actually in Venice, and I was traveling with some friends, and they were really smart. They actually, before they left home, they bought tickets to go see an Italian opera. So because we were overnighting, they were able to go to the opera that night. And it was really cool because during the day, St. Mark's Square was a little busy, but about 4 or 5 o'clock, the bigger ships started moving out. St. Mark's Square got much quieter. I was able to go out and have a wonderful dinner and some wine, and my friends got to go out and enjoy their opera. One of the highlights I feel that Azamara introduced a couple of years ago was our country intensive voyages. And that's where most of the ports of call happen in one country. So I'm just going to touch on a couple country intensive voyages to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. The first one is the Spain intensive voyage. This is definitely the one that I love because it has 5 late nights and 3 overnights. So that's a big experience. This is also one of our voyages that we partner with Perry Golf. So on this voyage, if you are a golfer, you can go and golf at some of the most iconic golf courses around Spain. We can overnight here in Seville and Lisbon, and on this, what I love so much is that you get to embark in Barcelona. And if I were you, I would certainly go to Barcelona a couple days early and get to see some of the iconic sites around that beautiful city. We also go to Valencia, which is the third largest city in Spain, and it's also home to the City of Arts and Sciences. So it also has one of the largest and grandest aquariums in the world. On this particular voyage, I always love to kind of get ahead of myself, I guess, and start exploring what um, shore excursions I might want to do. And for me, on this one in particular, I want to learn how to make paella. So there's a great shore excursion about teaching you to learn the art of making paella, and you actually get to go to a local market, and then you go to a local restaurant, and you're taught how to make paella. And best yet, you get to enjoy it because it's followed by a sit-down lunch. Our Scotland intensive is another favorite that this one I have not done yet, and actually very much look forward to going and doing someday. Is our Scotland intensive voyage. So we overnight here in Leith and Glasgow, and again you depart from Amsterdam. Another place that, in my opinion, I would go a couple days early to enjoy Amsterdam. Um, and then we go to some of the wonderful areas on this voyage. You know, Dundee, which was an industrial economy, has now been transformed into an artistic center with a really vibrant art and design and music and theater scene. And again, here, my shore excursion of choice would be to go, and my dad will love this one, to go and learn how single malt whiskeys are made. So I would do the Glengoyne distillery tour. So you get to go on a tour and see how Scotland's malt whiskey is made. So you kind of learn about the art and crafting of malt whiskey, and then you also get to taste it. So they have a big tasting of these single malts, and then the best part, which my dad will appreciate, is you actually get to go and buy a bottle or two, and bring them home with you as a souvenir. Oh yes, our Tokyo and Singapore. Um, that's tour, voyage rather, is another one that's really great. This is a really big highlight, in my opinion, where to be able to go to this part of the world, you know, to see firsthand the incredible castles and temples and palaces and shrines, is really going to be a highlight. We stop in Kobe. So, as many of you, I'm sure, know, this is where the Kobe beef, the iconic Kobe beef, is found, and I definitely will be trying that for sure. You know, Taipei is another one of the stops on this voyage. You know, and it's known as a really big foodie city. So eating is really a national pastime here. You know, we stay late, so the nice thing about that is you can go and visit the night markets, and sample some of the local delicacies. For me, I just want to go on a tour here to explore modern Japan, you know, where we spend time in Tokyo, and just being able to walk around and see those fabulous towering skyscrapers and beautiful peaceful shrines and temples and stuff that I've read so much about. So this takes you to another part of the world, and just so you know, Azamara ships hit all 7 continents. Last but certainly not least is the Greece intensive voyage. This is a very, very, very popular voyage. I have spent some time in Greece and just absolutely love it. So for this voyage, I am thrilled that we actually spend 5 late night stays here. To go to 9 incredible ports of call, you know, round trip Athens, and again, great place to go and spend time before or after. And we go to Mykonos, where you get to see those beautiful sun-bleached houses with those brilliant blue shutters. Um, and then we go to Paros, and which is, you know, really stylish, fashionable, you know, resort town. So this is a really great itinerary if you've always wanted to go to Greece, because again, this allows you to get on your boutique hotel at sea. You only unpack once, and you get to go to all these wonderful places. So if you've ever been dreaming about going to Greece, this could be the trip next July for you. For this one, I love to go to monasteries. I don't know why, but they just always intrigue me. So this allows you, if you go on the Magical Monasteries tour, this allows you to travel to two of the most stunning monasteries. And, as you're getting there, you're going through very charming Greek villages, um, and you actually get to have a Greek meal when you're in one of the villages. As I mentioned initially, Azamara has a long-standing partnership with Perry Golf. So if any of you on this webinar today are golfers, definitely give some thought to, have you ever thought about doing a golf-focused cruise? So this is where you can go on a cruise and again golf at some of the most iconic golf courses in the world. Perry Golf is really the gold standard, in my opinion, in delivering golf on board a cruise. You have a complete gangway to gangway experience where literally you drop your golf clubs off rather when you embark on the ship, and you don't see them until the first golf course that you're golfing at. So you have starting times, caddies, carts. You'll even have social events and time in the clubhouses at these golf courses that you're visiting. We always have Perry Golf staff on board our voyages. So that way, if you are coming on board and you have purchased the Perry golf package, there's staff on board to assist you and answer any questions you might have along the way. So now I want to take you and show you some beautiful interior pictures of the ship to kind of give you an idea of the ambiance on board the ship and what you'll encounter when you embark on your Azamara voyage. This shot is a picture of our den, and this is one of the favorite gathering places on the ship. There's a piano player during the day, most times of the day, and especially in the evening. People will often meet here at that beautiful bar before they head over to Discovery's, our main dining area. And again, during the day, for example, if we're at sea, there's often board games going on in here, or they might have bingo or trivia. So it really is a really warm and inviting place. It's often a spot where friends meet up. If you've met people on your cruise, they'll often say, "Hey, let's meet at the den," and you'll meet there and have a drink before you go on to dinner. These are some snapshots, as you can tell, of our staterooms. The picture on the top is our club spa suite, and there are two of them on every vessel, and they're located right outside the spa, and they are absolutely beautiful. As you can see, a beautiful view. In the bathroom area, there's actually a tub that has a beautiful ceiling to tub windows, and I've been told that you cannot see in, but it's stunning. You can sit there and just enjoy an evening if you want to have a soak before dinner or after dinner and just watch the beautiful scenery in whichever part of the world you're in. Our Club Ocean Suite, another great option, and our Club Continent, and then our Club Veranda Suite as well. Just as a point of reference, more than 90% of our staterooms feature an ocean view and 70% feature a veranda. And here are some more public spaces. Our Mosaic Cafe at the top is where you can get any of your specialty coffees and teas. And I'm going to go into in a little bit some of our inclusive amenities on board an Azamara voyage. The bottom is our living room. Again, this is a really wonderful gathering spot. Historically, I go there in the evening after dinner, and there's often a band or there's a DJ. In late afternoon, we have tapas, and we often have wine tasting events in the living room as well. This is another great spot if it's a day at sea or you just choose to stay on board because it's floor-to-ceiling windows and a great spot to just watch the ocean ahead of you. Picture of some of our food venues. The patio during the day is a pool grill area, so you can go and get any of our wonderful grilled items there. And in the evening, it turns into al fresco dining. Tables are draped. You can order off the menu, but it's a really nice area to still be outside, enjoying those beautiful views. The two pictures in the center, top and bottom, are pictures of our specialty dining restaurants. So with our specialty dining restaurants, we have Prime C and we also have Aquilina. Prime C is more of your steak fare, and Aquilina is more Mediterranean or Italian flavor in that area. So, again, these are our specialty dining. If you are in a suite, specialty dining is included with all suite category staterooms. If you are not in a suite, it's just a small nominal fee of about $30 per person. And I know in most cities you could not get a 5-course meal for a $60 for a couple. And certainly as you work with your cruise web travel advisor, please have them reach out to me, and I'm happy to include a night in specialty dining if you happen to be in a veranda or another category. Last but not least is our Discoveries Bar and Restaurant. And this is wonderful because you do not have to pick a specific dining time. We have open seating, beautiful bar area before you go into the main dining room. And again, you do not have to pick a specific time. I know for me personally, I often don't know what time I'm going to want to eat dinner days before I do. So what's included with an Azamara voyage? So this is where you've got this beautiful boutique hotel at sea, upmarket ship, but our inclusive amenities cannot be lost here at all because we include, our gratuities are included in your cruise fare, beer and wines, select standard spirits, and complimentary bottled water, soft drinks, specialty coffees, and teas. So all of this is included on an Azamara voyage. We also have self-service laundry. If you're in a port where you just kind of want to walk around in town center by yourself, we actually offer shuttle service to and from these port communities. So we offer our suites. We've got even more included where we actually have English butler service, some complimentary internet minutes, and a free bag of laundry is included for 7-night voyages or longer. Some of our higher end suites include additional onboard credit. And then in this last year, we've introduced our Veranda Plus category. So that kind of sits behind the general amenities and our suite category as far as inclusive amenities. This is for those of you that might be interested in, making the jump from a veranda to a suite category, but don't really, for whatever reason, maybe don't want to go to the expense just yet. So the Veranda Plus is a beautiful category because it gives you some of the amenities that are included for our suites. It gives you some internet minutes. It gives you a bag of free laundry, as well as one night complimentary and specialty dining. So definitely consider the Veranda Plus category. I think the secret is out because this category seems to be selling much more quickly now that people have caught on that they can kind of do an interim kind of step before they jump up to a Club Continent suite or above. So these are just some highlight pictures from some of my adventures during my time here at Azamara. You guys probably recognize the big picture to the right as being Machu Picchu. And boy, was that a memory. I actually stayed a little bit after one of our voyages and got to experience Machu Picchu. And the top left is me in Peru, trying out a very, very cool boat, historic, that the fishermen used to use many, many years ago. And the two pictures to the bottom left are pictures I took when I was in Greece. The middle one is actually this very beautiful bell tower while I was in Santorini. Absolutely love Santorini. And the other one is me in Athens. So I don't know about all of you, but I certainly have been dreaming about getting away and traveling. The times we're in right now, and it's just been tricky to get anywhere really. So I'm left to dreaming about where I'm going to go next, and this is what I want. I want to be traveling with my friends, creating memories. The top picture to the right is the Azamara journey in Dubrovnik. So I just have great fond memories of being in Croatia. And for me personally, I'm always motivated by food, so I love to try different foods from around the world. So just a suggestion, as some of you may be stuck home like me and in states that are just very, very slowly opening up, definitely keep dreaming about traveling and creating some AzAmazing memories, and start looking at the Azamara destination guide, and it'll help you along your thought process as to where you want to go next. Right now, and this is something I'm really going to highlight as you start looking at some Azamara voyages you might be interested in, is currently we're having one of our most popular promotions going on, and we've actually extended it until the end of August. It's our buy one, get one half off. So the second guest goes at 50% off. And most of these voyages are 2021. So there's a lot of options here and a lot of selection. So again, this includes all of our included amenities. And so definitely look at voyages that are part of this promotion. Last but certainly not least, I want to talk a bit about our crew, because they truly are the secret sauce of an Azamara voyage. They are people that you meet that welcome you back home every time you return to the ship. And for example, our captains, they're out and about on the ship every day. It's really a big reason why our guests return again and again. You know, the friendliness that you'll experience from them is really authentic. The service is cordial, and they really are interested in getting to know you better. So from our captains to our hotel directors to our cruise directors, people will pick their voyages based on when they will be on. So again, pictures, one of my favorite pictures in my Azamara library is a picture of our 3 ships. And again, these are our 3 boutique hotels at sea. So please consider all of the options here with Azamara, and also the value of sailing on an Azamara ship with all of the amenities. And, you know, we get to go where the bigger ships can't go to. So we get to go to some very iconic, smaller, very unique destinations and park in city centers or dock in city centers because of the size of our ships. So that is, in a nutshell, all of the details, or a lot of the details about Azamara. And I just kind of want to jump to, before we run out of time, to answer some questions that have hopefully come in during the time that I was talking. Yep, I actually see some questions here. Okay, here's a question from Ginny. Thank you, Ginny. Thanks for joining us today. The question is, are there kids on board? Are kids allowed on board? And that's a really great question. Kids are allowed on board, but you should know that we don't have any kids program. So sometimes parents and grandparents, want to travel, as an extended family. And my suggestion would be, if you have young people that are, good travelers, and, you know that you're going to be spending a lot of time in destination and you want them to experience that, then that's great. But just know that we do not have kids programs on board our ships at all. I had a father take his 2 teenage daughters, and he had reached out to his travel advisor, and she reached out to me. And, what I said is, I guided him, and he picked a voyage that was very, very destination heavy, with not a lot of sea days. I have young 20-year-olds myself, and I don't think that they would love to be disconnected from their devices for long stretches. But I will tell you, this dad came back and he said it was a trip of a lifetime, because we had so many late night stays, and his girls were able to just enjoy their time, came back to the ship exhausted, had dinner, went to bed. So there's just one example of that. Let's see, Claire has a question here about dress code. Great question as well. Thank you, Claire. So our dress code, I guess definition is country club casual. So no, you do not have to bring gowns and dressy attire to dress. People, if they're eating in specialty dining, sometimes like to get dressed up, but I always like to say my dad doesn't want to necessarily have to put on a suit when he travels. He was an IBMer for a very long time, and So for him, he doesn't want to have to put on a suit, and so I'm always telling him, pressed khakis and a button-down shirt is just fine. So Robert has a question here. Well, I haven't gotten this one in quite a while. Robert's asking about what is you know, the tonnage on the ship. This is a great question. I don't get it often, but so the tonnage on the ship is 30,000 gross registered tons. So that's the tonnage on the ship. So I hope that answers your question. And obviously, you can find out more. Also, you can ask your cruise web advisor, and I can certainly give them more details. And oh wow, here's a very timely question from Lisa, and it's what is AzAmara's health and safety plan for guests as we're getting once we start cruising again? And again, this is a really great question in these times. And as I said when I started, we are one of the Royal Caribbean family of brands, and Royal Caribbean Corporate is working on a plan as we speak, because the health and safety of our guests and our crew is paramount to us and most important to us. So stay tuned. It's going to be coming out very soon, and as soon as it does, your CruiseWeb travel advisor will have that information for you. So, but please keep in mind that your health and safety is very, very, very much front of mind. So that's all the questions I see coming in. If anyone has any questions after you get off of this webinar, please reach out to your CruiseWeb advisor, and I'm sure they are excellent. They'll probably be able to answer it right off the bat, and if not, they know I'm just an email or phone call away. So again, please reach out to your travel advisors at the CruiseWeb. I thank you sincerely for joining me today to come learn a little bit more about Azamara. All the best. Enjoy your day.